The UK will stop offering the COVID vax to healthy 5 to 11-year-olds. And yes, I said COVID and vax, so cue the censorship and the info banners. Either way, I have some final thoughts. We know the whole my body, my choice thing is largely lost on liberals worldwide when it comes to the COVID never-ending series of vaccines. Yet, in a surprising, logical, and wise move, the UK Health Security Agency, based on guidance from UK's Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization, will no longer offer COVID vaccines to children ages 5 to 11. Now, this makes perfect sense. COVID is a glorified cold at this point, and even at the height of the pandemic, children were at the lowest risk. Yet, to keep the fear-demic going, certainly within the United States, kids were still kept out of school, forced into remote learning, forced to forego extracurricular activities, miss out on school lunch program many desperately needed, and despite the absence of any long-term clinical trials, parents and students alike were then incessantly pressured to get injected with the experimental COVID vaccine. Some parents salivated with bizarre glee over vaccinating their young children, and according to some headlines, some in the UK still are. But is it parents that are upset with this new UK vaccination policy, or big pharma pushing academics who live and die by the vaccine gospel? One of the angered ones over in the UK is Christina Pagel of University College London, who acknowledged very few kids risk death from COVID or much risk at all, but that they should still vax up to keep them from spreading COVID. Christina, enough with the charade. The jig is up. We know the COVID vaccine doesn't prevent infection or spread, so the logic of pumping a vaccine with no concept of long-term side effects into the lowest risk age category willy-nilly to appease the elites at London universities is a load of bull. It's clear from the incredibly low child vax numbers in both the UK and the USA that parents aren't about it. And it's not because they're anti-vax either. The COVID vaccine is not the same as measles, mumps, and rubella, which have been time-tested, studied, and charted. And P.S., most kids already had COVID, and the natural immunity is far stronger than however many shots you want to jab in their arms, whether the medical community wants to fully cop to that or not. And could someone please relay that to Democrat D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, who, to this day, and with all the science we have now, is still dead set on a COVID vaccine mandate for students over 12 with her no shots, no school policy. The deadline for that has been extended to January, but keep in mind, Bowser has also vowed to cut off even remote learning for students that won't comply with the mandate, keeping them out of public education of any kind. This is lunacy, tyranny, and discriminatory, but it won't end until parents step up, stand up, and vote like their children depend on it, because they do. I applaud the move made in the UK. It's a good start and places logic and reality over politics and pharma. We can only hope our CDC, our government, or at the very least our courts here across the pond are wise enough to scrap the jab pushing and at least leave kids alone. Those are my final thoughts. Be sure to catch the entire show and exclusive content on Outkick.com. Also, make sure to follow me at Tomi Lahren on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. From Nashville, God bless and take care.